to Porch Talk.
Porch Talk?
Dark
Porch
Dark
Talk?
Porch. It's very light Porch Talk.
Right.
Dark Porch Talk. We're doing some story times. So let's see here. Why we designed the game this way. For example, picking our favorite elements over others.
I think I talked about, the designing process a little bit. Why don't you tell a little bit about your favorite parts?
Yes, so we kind of talked about, or my philosophy always was, I want to take the things that I like most about gaming, and I want to put it into my game. What are my favorite types of games? Well, I like collectible card games. I've been playing Magic the Gathering, Hearthstone, even just games that also involve some strategy like Uno. I always like the idea of having cards that involve the game and affect the game style. But I'm also, an RPG player, and so that's also one of the core design elements. We have our characters. We have diverse sets of skills and gear and way to kind of advance your character in the way that you want to. I also like getting into character.
Yeah.
So we built a lot of, for me, to build that kind of those kind of real life moments into the game was really, really important. And I think that actually a lot of the players, basically everyone so far, gets a big kick out of that. The silliness element to it.
Yeah.
And then I think lastly, we talk about kind of resource management, dungeon crawler style games, where not only do you have cool characters, not only do you have kind of cards that you use throughout the game, but then we want kind of a core battle mechanic and core resource management mechanic that is the right balance between a bit of randomness, because we have dice rolling, but also strategy, right? So we want to make sure that our decisions that we make in the game are important, but not everything is random. So those are the main things that I felt I wanted to bring into the game. And as we also said, there was a lot of things which we just needed to keep out.
How does our special board design add to these mechanics that you were just talking about?
Right. So I've played a lot of dungeon crawlers before, right? And once you kind of play through them a couple times, you kind of, even sometimes from the very beginning, can kind of calculate the whole scenario in front of you, right? Because okay, X amount of resources, and this is how the scenario is now playing out. You can kind of see how that will play out to the very end. And one of my favorite games back in the day was just Diablo. I still can hear that music in Tristram, and then what was the old guy from Stay a While? And this, what was his name? It's gonna come to me in a second. But anyways, every time you went into these dungeons in Diablo, it would generate differently, and that really kind of hit me. Like, how can we take that element? And that's exactly what it is that came from your game design. Basically saying all right, every time we actually play this game with this shifting board mechanism will be completely different.
Yeah.
And I think we found a really great balance in programming it, because that's why we have all the numbers on the board. We could say, hey, put these. My inspiration for the games are things like Magic the Gathering, in terms of deck building. I really enjoyed role-playing games, strategy games, but that whole concept of, especially in Diablo, going down into these dungeons, and each time you go into the dungeons, they're generated differently and new, which means that you can kind of, every time you play through, have a different experience when you're playing. And we kind of took that concept to the rotating board, that although a lot of these omens have common setups, each time you play is going to be quite different, because the obstacles changes each time, and that really makes you choose differently how to use your resources, where the obstacles are. So I think that's a really important factor that I really enjoy about the game, that makes it especially replayable.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the other main thing I think about the replayability is the ruin cards. Can you tell us a little bit about the ruin system and the ruins themselves?
Yeah, the rune system is pretty cool. We have 16 rune pieces, right? With one rune symbol on each die, basically on each rune piece. Each rune piece has 4 different colors on each side, and they are relating to a deck of cards, right? We have the different houses, which generate positive or negative effects. We have the House of the Sun, which is yellow, It's always positive. You get like positive effects like Wrath of Trier, you know, the god of war is basically with you, gives you some like additional like dice bonuses. You have the House of the Moon, which is blue. It's always negative. It's like severe cough or scurvy or sprained ankle or something, something like this, right? And that might like decrease your action points that you can use. So it challenges you seriously. Then we have the House of Hope, which is green. It can be positive or a negative effect, just depending a little bit on luck. And one funny card in that is definitely diarrhea. The legendary card.
I'm glad we put the crap attack token into the game. You guys fought me on that. I was like, I want the crap attack token into the game.
Exactly.
And everyone loves it.
You get a crap attack token from that card, and you also infest like your other like teammates with diarrhea, which is pretty hilarious. And then we have the House of Fortune, which is red, and that is a lot of like, it's just like dice based. You have to roll for the outcome.
Yep.
You roll a lot for like little rewards and gold rewards, whether you have to pay gold or you win gold. Depends a little bit on your luck and your rollings.
So these ruin cards, they really determine your play style. For how long do they go into effect? How often is there a rune throw?
Every 3 days, basically, in the game flow.
So about every 3 omens, right?
Exactly. So we have, or every 2 omens. So we have on the first day we make the rune throw, and we keep that rune throw for 2 complete days. On the 3rd day we have another rune throw, and at the 6th day, before we go into the boss fight, we have another rune throw, which is pretty cool. We decided for that because we wanted to be able to learn your runes a little bit, right? Learn the positive and the negative effects, but we also wanted to make sure that you don't have to stick with them, or that they don't stick with you like for too long. So we balanced that out pretty good now with the 3 rune throws.
It's also, it takes a bit of time. So doing the rune throws every round or every new turn is a lot. Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks, buddy.